Hello and welcome to From Data to Decisions, How Catalyst Reveal Transforms Compliance Analytics. I'm Sarah Haddon, and I'm the publisher of Corporate Compliance Insights and delighted to produce this webinar today along with LRN. Now, this is a webinar, but there's a demo in it. So is it a webinar? Is it a demo? It's both. We're calling it a deminar. And if that phrase catches on, then you heard it here first with CCI and LRN. We have got over 200 people registered to attend this virtual event today, and we're very excited to tell you that we also have 40 people joining us all together live in person in a room in Amsterdam, where LRN is hosting a masterclass today. So welcome to our live in-studio audience as well. Couple of housekeeping items. You already know how this goes. We have a resource for you that you can download at any time. Check the resource tab on your dashboard to download LRN's 2025 Compliance and Ethics Program Effectiveness Report. And there's also a call to action button on your screen that invites you at any time to request a private one-on-one demo. Finally, questions. We expect you will have questions as we move along. You can put those questions in the Q&A chat at any time. You can even log your questions during the video. That's fine. We'll tackle them at the end, but ask them at any time. And now let us bring to the stage Amy Hannon. Amy is the Chief Marketing Officer for LRN, and she is one of the architects of this 10-year study. Hi there, Amy. Welcome.
Hi, Sarah.
We're so excited that you're here.
Yes, I was having a little bit of audio difficulty, but I think I figured it out. Hopefully you're not hearing too much background noise.
No, you look great and you sound great, and we made it happen. So we're, as I mentioned to the rest of the group, we have a huge online audience, and we're thrilled to have an in-person audience as well. So let's jump in. I know what people have come for, and that's for us to dig in to the program effectiveness report. And you and I, fortunately, have had a number of opportunities to talk about this in some detail. And I know that this year's research points to a disturbing, or I should say maybe a troubling trend, and that is that there is a gap. We're seeing a gap now between effective and ineffective programs that's getting wider. If you would, Amy, give us a sense of how LRN identifies and defines a highly effective program.
We have, over the course of the last 11 years, conducted this research into ethics and compliance program effectiveness. As you know, this year marks the 11th edition of the report, and the methodology has really remained the same over that period of time in helping us to categorize programs into either high impact, medium impact, or low impact programs. And it's really around three specific types of questions that we ask ethics and compliance professionals as a part of the survey questionnaire instrument that we use. And those three types of questions are bucketed into ethical decision making. So what are the choices that employees are making in your organization driven by values, or is it through expediency, just looking to get the job done as quickly as possible, right? Then we have a set of questions around organizational justice, right? Are senior executives, middle managers, frontline employees, are they all held to the same standards of conduct across the board? And then the last bucket of questions is around freedom of expression. Are employees willing to speak up? Can they exchange ideas freely within their organization? And it's based on the answers to a whole set of questions within these three categories that helps us then determine high impact, medium impact, and low impact programs.
Okay, thank you for explaining that and also for reminding us that this research is 10 years in the making. You've been looking at these issues for a decade, so that really speaks to the depth and the breadth, certainly, of this study. Now, I know that your research highlights benchmarking as a key attribute of a high-performing program. Tell us, if you would, what are some ways that effective programs tend to leverage benchmarking data in order to improve their program effectiveness?
Yes. So let me back up just a second
Okay.
and maybe provide a data point to the audience since you brought it up. High impact programs in our most recent research, we found, are nearly 2 times more likely than medium impact programs to use benchmarking data, both internal and external benchmarking data, in order to evaluate their program, to determine their program's impact, and then to help them make more strategic choices around how they're going to evolve their program over the coming months or in the near future. This is a really significant finding. It may seem or feel intuitive to a lot of the audience. Of course, high impact programs should be leading the way in the use of benchmarking data, but this finding is significant this year because of the widening gap between high impact programs' use and value of benchmarking data and medium impact programs' access to that same type of data. We're really seeing this gap widen over the last year of study here, and it's concerning because it means that programs of medium or even low impact are not seeing the same level of resourcing. They're not seeing the same level of perhaps executive or board level buy-in that would help them gain access to this critical type of information. And we know that benchmarking in particular helps you put your own program into context and know how you stack up against peers in your industry or perhaps in other segments as well.
Okay, so without a doubt, it's important. We think it's widely recognized that benchmarking data has value. Tell us again in just a little more detail, if you would, what are some of the barriers that are preventing organizations from accessing it and from leveraging it? And how do they overcome those?
Yeah, so there's a whole variety of barriers or challenges that compliance programs may be facing. Things like budget constraints for sure, access to the right tools or technology. Perhaps they have some outdated internal systems that just aren't connected to give them a comprehensive view of the data that they do have available. On the benchmarking data points specifically, getting access to external benchmarking data can be a real challenge as well. And that's not just through tools, technology that programs may or may not have access to. It's having the right kinds of partners or access to associations that could have some of this data available and be willing to share it so that compliance leaders can really integrate that into their program. It's also considering how credible is that data, how reliable is that data, and how often is that data being updated and refreshed.
Oh, that's key, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move on now to board communication. I know this is such a hot button issue for compliance officers. We all know that they have limited time to present to the board. And we also know, thanks to research from Board Intelligence, you shared this article with me, Amy, just last week, and I grabbed this statistic. Research shows that in 2024, 57% of board directors surveyed said that finding the key messages in their huge board packs was like looking for a needle in a haystack. So with
Mhm.
that in mind, yeah, what are the most effective ways to distill complex compliance insights into impactful and strategic information for a board?
Yeah, so it comes down to identifying what are the KPIs, the key performance indicators that will demonstrate impact of your program. What's important to your board? What are they prioritizing for you in terms of the oversight and governance of your own program? What risks are they saying that you should be prioritizing? And then thinking about what are the measurable indicators within your own data that would be able to help you track that, monitor it, and then raise any red flags proactively to your executive management team, to your board of directors, that would be helpful in telling that story. There's not just one answer, Sarah. There's not just one set of KPIs that is consistently valuable to every organization. It really does depend on your own company's risk profile, and what your strategic priorities are as an organization, for that coming year, 3 years, 5 years, and really having that open dialogue with your board around what kind of reporting matters to them.
That makes total sense. Thank you for unpacking that for us somewhat. I think this is a great time for us to go ahead and invite our product team to the stage. I want to get some insights from them. So let's welcome Justin Garten and Meng Zhen from LRN.
Yes.
And as they are joining us, I've got a polling question that I want to throw out to our audience. And this will just be to the virtual audience, as a matter of fact, not to those who are joining us in person. We wanted to know, how frequently do you provide updates on ethics and compliance progress and issues? And maybe that's to the board, or maybe in your situation, your updates are to your manager or to your chief ethics and compliance officer. But if you would, use the controls on your screen just to lob a response to that question very quickly. And Justin and Meng, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having us, Sarah.
Yeah,
thanks for having us.
I know that there are a lot of things that we can consider in the context of Catalyst Reveal, including the questions that we just went over with Amy. But also, in particular, I wanted to ask, and Justin, I'll throw this question at you. When it comes to modular compliance tools and program integration, we know that the report mentions the benefits of modular compliance tools that can integrate data from multiple sources. If you would, tell us how this approach can help organizations get a more holistic view of their program.
Absolutely. So it's one of those things that we really think a lot about, is not just sort of how we make things better in the compliance niche, but if we're doing our jobs right, that's affecting the entire organization. And so if you think about it that way, then how are we bringing in data from all of these different components? How are we bringing that together to actually generate things that are not just sort of narrow, but are what we think ethics and compliance should be, something that benefits across the board there. And so that's where I really think that modular components and sort of thinking about things that way, it changes your perspective on things. You aren't just thinking, okay, we have this silo. It's no, how do we kind of make those connections out from that and make sure that we're actually both taking information in, but also pushing those insights back out.
And you realize you have to do it that way, don't you? This is like playing chess in 3 dimensions.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of times we struggle in this particular E&C space, where a lot of times we are treated as sort of kind of a silo that has to be checked, a box that has to be checked, but not necessarily something that can benefit everyone in the organization. And changing that perspective is, I think, something that we have a real opportunity to do.
We do, don't we? Meng, would you look at the survey results, please, and tell me if that's kind of what you predicted? Are there any surprises there? I'm not sure if they're on your screen at the moment. Perhaps. There we go.
Oh, okay. Yes, yes, Jackie is on my screen. So, okay, so the question is, how frequently do you provide updates on E&C progress and issues to your managers, CEOs, or board? So I think we got most of the people select quarterly. The number is standing at 54%. And then the ranking second answer is weekly or monthly. And then we also get 14% of people select yearly and 5% select whenever something goes wrong.
Perfect. Perfect. I think that will give us some good context for what comes next, which will be the demo portion of our program. Justin, is this a good time to cue up the video?
Absolutely. So, yeah, just Oh, go ahead, Sarah. Sorry.
I was just going to do the housekeeping things. Don't forget to stay with us until after the video because that's when we'll join the questions.
So Elleren's Catalyst Reveal is a compliance analytics and benchmarking solution that delivers real-time learning, culture, and sentiment metrics that you need to understand and improve your ethics and compliance program. Now, that's a lot of high-level talk, but what does this actually look like in practice? So we're going to run through a scenario today where I'm getting ready for a board presentation tomorrow, and my partner Mung is going to be helping me to pull the data that we need to actually make this actionable. So hey, Mung, we've got a board meeting tomorrow. Do you happen to have the 2024 year-end report on our E&C campaign ready to share?
Hi, Justin. Yeah, of course. So I just got this review next gen, and let me see what information I can get for you. So now I'm looking at the campaign data dashboard. And yeah, from this campaign overview, I'm having all the campaign that we had for the year 2024 in the same view. Since we had a great year, we have a total completion rate of 99.88% with 38 campaigns in total.
Oh, that's great. So how are we doing with the annual training campaigns? And which are the biggest campaigns that we have?
Yes, of course. So I think these information are available in this campaign detail view, in which you're able to filter by any of these data fields. So let me filter by assigned learner and see what are our biggest campaigns. And okay, you're right. The biggest campaign that we had were the annual training campaigns, and each of them we have assigned to more than 100,000 learners. And those are the campaigns that we have really good completion rate. Two of them are 100%. The only one that's lagged behind still have 99.66% of completion.
That sounds great. So how's the total seat time looking compared to previous years? The board always keeps an eye on the time spent on training.
Good question. I think this year we finally get the number included in the review next gen dashboard. So let me see how we're doing. Now I'm in the course dashboard, and let me look at the timeline view. The review timeline view give you make it very easy for a user to track their E&C effort and results over time. You can aggregate any metric on the yearly, monthly, or weekly basis, depending on what kind of analysis that you want to do. In this case, I'm really interested in the total seat time per learner, and I want to look at it on a yearly basis. So I think the first thing I want to do is to use this select date filter to change the date range to past 3 years. And today is going to be 2022. And I want to look at this on the yearly basis. So I'm going to click in here. Okay, it seems like we've done pretty good in 2024 because the seat time has been dropping from 3.1 hours in 2023 to 2.3 hours in 2024.
That's great to hear. So we've been working with the content team to introduce some AI scenarios to make the tests more relevant. But what happened to the attempts to pass the courses in the same period?
Good question. So in the timeline view, you're also able to put two metrics along the same timeline to see if they're trending over in the same direction. So let me take a look of this average number of attempt to pass. Yes, seems that has been trending up and down the same direction along with the time spent per learner. Well, it means our course is definitely getting more efficient, or training is getting more efficient.
That's excellent. But which were the courses that are still a little bit challenging to pass? I want to take a look at those.
Yes, of course. So I think that information is available in the course overview section. So let me go back there and then see what are the easiest and hardest course. First thing, I want to change it back to 2024 because I want to look at the most recent data. And let me see. Okay, it looks like the hardest course that we have are intellectual property and policies, standards, and best practices for a secured workplace. Because for both of these courses, we have less than 50% of the completion done at the first attempt.
Makes sense. Those are difficult. We'll definitely just need to take a closer look and see if there's anything different we can do there. But I guess just for comparison, what are the easiest ones?
Good question. I think we are doing pretty good on this one, the workplace harassment. We got 100% of completion at the first attempt.
Oh, that's awesome. So I'm also curious to know how our learners feel about the training because easy, hard, you always want to see what their response is to it. Do you have any insights on that?
Yes, of course. That is what the learner satisfaction dashboard is for. As a contact, we have a after course survey sent out to the learner to collect some feedbacks of our courses. So here it is. Apparently, we got overall 4.64 average final rating, which is great, and that is out of like more than 1,500 of survey results. So yeah, we're doing pretty good in the training quality.
That's fantastic. Now, can we look at each course and see which one gets the most positive feedback?
Yeah, for sure. So that information is available in the sentiment tab, and where you can see these all these courses. We have some user feedback in verbatim, and we categorize them in terms of positive, neutral, and negative through machine learning. So from this, you can see the course that are having the most percentage of positive feedback is the anti-bribery and corruption. And the course that has highest percentage of negative feedback are the anti-harassment and discrimination courses.
Interesting. Can we maybe review some of the negative feedback for the anti-harassment and identify some areas for improvement?
Yes, for sure. So you're able to using these filters and to zoom in into any particular course that you're interested in. In this case, we want to look at the one that has the highest percentage of negative feedback. So here we go. And we're able to see the user comments. And if I want to be a little bit more surgical and diagnostic, I can focus on only the negative feedbacks and see what people are talking about. I think from a quick scanning, looks like a lot of people saying the course is pretty long.
Hmm. That's definitely something we should look into. It also might give us another way to help reduce the total seat time.
It's a good
No,
call.
this is great. So I guess shifting gears a little bit, what about our company culture? The board has been really focused on that lately, and I want to give them a little up-to-date information on that.
Yeah, for sure. So let's see what a company culture is talking. Okay, so for ethical culture pulse for 2024, we got total of 18,000 participants for the pulse survey, and the results looks pretty okay, standing at 3.81. But let me look at it over here and see if we are improving or we are we're not doing as good as previous year. So again, let me change the date range to the past 3 years and see what we got in here. Okay, and I want to aggregate it on a yearly basis. Okay, well, it seems we have been dropping from 2023, where we're standing at 3.97. This year, we're at 3.81.
Hmm. That's interesting, but I guess I'm curious, how do we compare to the industry benchmark in 2024?
That's a great question. So let's take a look. Okay, so apparently we are 3.81, but the benchmark is still like below us at 3.75. I guess this not so bad news in the end of the day.
Yes, but we still need to understand the reasons behind that drop. So, can you break this down by the countries we operate in?
Yes, of course. So that is the new function that we have for Review 2.0, which is a drill down function. This function allows you to break down any metric that you're interested in by your HRIS field. In this case, I want to break it down by the country that we are operating in. Okay, and it seems that Japan is actually leading the game and has a 4.05 review. And then United States is actually dragging us behind as the number is standing at 3.71.
Interesting. So I know we launched the Managing for Principled Performance course in 2024. I wonder if Japan was doing particularly well in that training.
Yeah, I think so too. So let me take a look on that training. So now I'm going back to course dashboard and I'm looking at the drill down. And I want to really focus on that course, which is managing for principal performance. If looking at the average number of attempts, Japan is actually like doing really good on the training because it takes the learner in Japan takes less attempt to pass the course, means they receive the course very well.
It seems that training is the best way to boost your E&C culture. So
Absolutely agree.
let's see, we need to do the same for the US. Can you let me know what specific dimensions that the US isn't doing so well on, though?
Yeah, so let's go back to the company culture and take a look in there. So yeah, I think in this view, we're also able to drill down the average ethics score, not just by country, but also by dimension. So here we have 4 different dimensions to ethical culture, which is speak out, principal performance, organizational justice, and leadership modeling. And in this, I think United States is pretty low across the board, but then particularly low in speaking out.
Interesting. I think we definitely should prepare a training focused on that aspect. And this heat map view is great. Could you export this in PowerPoint so I can share it with the board?
Yes, of course. So in Review Next Gen, you're able to export this beautiful dashboard in many formats, that including image, crosstab, and PowerPoint. So today we're going to export it in PowerPoint. And here we go. You have the beautiful slides to share tomorrow.
Thank you. That's awesome. But can you also set up an alert to notify me if the US E&C score drops any further?
Yes, of course. So in the Review Next Gen, we're able to set alerts to up to 47 different metrics. And not just that, you're also able to leverage these filters that we have and to further scope your alerts. So basically, you're able to alert on anything that you're interested in. So in this case, we want to focus on United States. Let me just find United States from the filter, click Comply. And I want to set alerts if the score dropped further from where it is today. So when it's below, and I want to receive alerts at daily at most, and then I just create alerts from here. Here we go. You have your alerts created successfully.
That's fantastic. No, this is great information. And I know the board's first question is going to be if we're tracking this. So I'll be able to answer yes to that question now. So let's go ahead and shift gears over to risk. Can you tell me which disclosures have the most variant submissions in 2024?
Yes, of course. So now let's looking at the disclosure dashboard. And okay, since in 2024, we have a total of 11,000 of submissions. And then we have eight disclosures, and in which this one, the conflict of interest has the highest percentage of variant submissions. So I guess that indicates a potential risk we need to look into.
Interesting. Let's maybe drill in on that a little bit. Do you have any insights on which departments tend to have more variant submissions?
Yes, so that will lead us to the drill down tab again. So let me go to the drill down tab. And I want to really look into that particular disclosure, which is conflict of interest. And I got drill it down by business unit that we have. And okay, I think sales department has the highest percentage of variant submission for this particular disclosure.
Thanks. I'll definitely reach out to their department head for a little more information on this. But I guess I was also wondering, maybe as a part, kind of related to this, did our smart code get any traffic last year?
Yeah, I was curious about that too. So let's go to the smart code dashboard and see how we did last year. Okay, so apparently we got some spike last year in February and March for smart code visit, which seems like a good news.
That's interesting. Can we see anything about what may have driven that spike?
Yeah, so if I scroll over, I can see the spike is actually happened the same time where we have most of the training completions. So I think those spikes are actually driven by the ENC training.
That sounds great. Training is the best way to strengthen code awareness and ENC culture in our company. So I'll definitely check with my LRN account manager to see what else we can do this year on that.
That's a great idea.
Do you know what these searches were about, though? I'm kind of curious to see what people were looking for when with all those visits.
Yeah, so I'm just getting through these like most common search keywords, and apparently we got lots of search in Portuguese. That is interesting because when I'm looking at these viewer journeys, I can see a lot of searches from the United States, obviously, but we also get a good of search from Brazil. So maybe that explains it.
Interesting. Yeah, that's definitely some more information for me to take a closer look at there. So, and by the way, I just recently completed the PMA survey from LRN. Can you share our results with me?
Yes, of course. The result was available real time after you complete a survey. So let's see where we get. Okay, I'm just quickly scanning through it. It seems that compared to the benchmark, we did really well in risk assessment and reporting because we are zero point 0.5 ahead of benchmark on a scale out of 5. Whereas we are lagging behind in areas in program maturity, resource, and board oversight.
Interesting. So I'm kind of curious on the program resources. Can you tell me what we're not doing enough of compared to the benchmark?
Yes, so in the reveal dashboard PMA, you are able to look at the benchmark in detail into each and every questions. So I actually did a research yesterday myself on the program management area, and I look at all these questions compared to the answer from our benchmark. Looks like our board should be benefit from additional trainings because we are training on confidential information, conflict of interest, and privacy, whereas a lot of our peers are spending a lot of time training in anti-corruption. So I think maybe we can recommend the anti-corruption training to the board.
That's good to know. I'll propose a little extra training to them later today.
Sounds great.
So thanks. I think we're gonna have a great board meeting with all this material. So thank you for all the insights there.
No problem. My pleasure.
So what we just walked through was the current state of Reveal. It gives you a lot of information, a lot of ways to really sort through it. But sometimes it relies a little bit on having somebody who's familiar with the data. And so we want to give you a sneak peek of what's coming in the next phase of Reveal, Reveal Insights. And what this does is take it to the next level of offering you insights and kind of that first layer of data analysis without having to do all the clicking and slicing and dicing yourself. So let's, once again, kind of role play through a quick scenario of what it looks like as you're getting your Reveal Insights board in the morning and taking a look at it. So I guess I see that our employees are less comfortable raising E&C concerns compared to the industry benchmark. Let me take a look at what's going on there. I guess if I raised a concern about misconduct, I'm confident my company would handle it effectively, and only 67% of our employees said yes to it. Okay, that's a little worrisome. The industry benchmark's 80% on that. So I wonder what that, oh, and instantly my next question's answered of where I should focus on this. It looks like, oh, Germany is really lagging behind on this right now. So I'm gonna have to reach out to our German division and maybe see what's going on over there with that. Okay. Oh, it also looks like, okay, so it's giving me some correlations here too, that LRN's identified a positive correlation between learner satisfaction scores and employee confidence. So I know my LRN rep has been talking to me about some new course formats that increase learner satisfaction. Maybe I can take a look at some of those. Okay, well, this is a good start. Let me see what other insights there are. Oh, actually, that one jumps out at me. Searches on the code regarding retaliation have been increasing over the last 3 months. Oh, wow, that's a significant spike. I wonder what's driving that. Okay, the searches are mainly coming from employees located in the United States. I'll definitely need to follow up on this. Also, I see there's some increase in Germany as well from this map. Well, let me take a look at those two, especially given what I saw in the previous insight. Okay, well, this is a good start here. And oh, It looks like our compliance budget is below the average for companies of similar size. This is one I may need to take some immediate action on. Oh wow, we're only spending under $500,000, but most companies are spending well more than that. Well, the board definitely needs to hear about this, and my LRN rep's been giving me some great options, so I even know where I'd put some of that extra budget on. Okay, well this definitely helps me to kind of get a quick picture of what's going on, and no, this Insights tab is a great new feature. So anyway, that's kind of what's coming is, and you can see how it works there, where it takes away some of the initial questions. It doesn't necessarily tell you the full answer, but at least it gives you kind of that spotlight on where you might want to do additional searching. So this will be coming over the course of Q2 and Q3, but we're very excited to give you a sneak peek of it today.
Fabulous. What a thorough explanation of Catalyst Reveal. That was so interesting. In spite of how thorough it was, however, we have a lot of questions from our online viewers. Justin, I would love it if you would handle as many of those questions as we have time for.
Sure, we can kind of pass some of these around here, I guess. Starting from the bottom, I see Tracy asked, is the industry benchmark a comparison with LRN clients, or what is it comprised of? So yes, that is a comparison with LRN clients. So great question on that. Let's see, I see. I guess kind of moving bottom to top, is there benchmarking on the attempt rates? And yes, we do have multiple benchmarking in the training modules. So we're happy to do one-on-one demos to kind of get into the specific details. Of course, with custom courses or things like that, there won't be benchmarking data available, but that's obvious enough on that. So, but great question on that. Moving up, where to find how the metrics are calculated to better understand them and to interpret? No, great question. This is actually a huge one. And because if you're just seeing these numbers there, what does it mean? How do I actually take action? You've got to know what's going on underneath it. So we have tooltips available in all of the metrics that actually show what the calculations are, what the details are. So that's going to be a way that you can kind of get that first level. And then, of course, you'll be able to get more information on that as needed. See, moving on up, and Sarah, correct me if I'm wrong here, but if people want to drop directly ask questions, we can do that as well, or just
absolutely. It's certainly not too late. If you have a question that hasn't been handled or something that just came to you, you can drop that right into the Q&A or into the chat, whichever is faster or easier for you, because we are still on hand for another few minutes to tackle any of these questions.
So in the meantime, can we incorporate our own custom data? What about benchmark data? Now that's a great question. So, so right now you can incorporate your HRIS data. So this is critical for even a lot of the views that we were looking at. This is kind of the baseline. So if you're looking by country or region, business unit, all the things that are currently in there and that you're probably already incorporating in terms of being able to target courses, this is a way where you're instantly going to be getting extra value out of that. We're also 2026 targeting sort of more extensive data imports, being able to pull in other types of data and combine those. So more to come, but a lot already there in the first version.
Outstanding. Amy, do you have anything you'd like to add?
I should probably take the opportunity to let all of our attendees know over in the right-hand side of the panel where everybody's been adding in their questions, there's a section for resources. I think it's the last icon over on the right-hand side of your screen. In that resources tab, you'll find a copy of the 2025 Ethics and Compliance Program Effectiveness Report. So if you haven't had a chance to read it just yet, the full PDF is available for download right there.
And I'll also point out, and I believe Justin has indicated as well, there's a call to action button on your screen, an opportunity to book a one-on-one meeting if that is of interest. So at this time, let me thank the product team and Amy from LRN for this fantastic exploration of Catalyst Reveal. We're so glad that we had so many people in the audience today, both live and in person, to dig into how Catalyst Reveal Transforms Compliance Analytics. Don't forget to download that resource. Watch your email. We'll also send you a copy as well as the playback video so that you can share it with colleagues. Thanks again for spending some time with us today, and we hope to hear from you all again soon. Enjoy the rest of your week.